There you go.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Well,
Happy Friday, Fishy, guys.
Make sure you're going. Yeah, you're good to go.
You got your favorite host over here, Bigrich. You got your second favorite host, Skylar, and then we got my son over there. I'm sorry, Joshy. Not cool? Not cool?
No, I'm just going back and checking your work to make sure we're live.
Oh, we're live. Trust me, son. All right.
We definitely are.
So, this week here, we've got the Tracy update. We were supposed to have a live guest on tonight, but we could not get the software working right. I'm telling you, between the OBS software and the StreamYards, it's fighting on my computer, and it's just a pain in the butt. So OBS works great, except we can't have guests. StreamYards works great when we need guests, but it's lower quality on the visual, and it don't have the video background like this. So we got to keep choosing between the two.
You should push your phone used to not looking down. Version up of the
One of
growth
those
sitting down there.
one of those stand things.
He's like, school
There we
stopped during the daytime, Josh, because
Oh, use my
Rich teaches me everything, and I'm refused to listen to it anymore.
here. I'll use my jar right here.
Well,
The swear
welcome,
jar.
guys. Hope y'all have great evening, and we're gonna try and make it a little more funner. Josh, you got any plans?
Well, of course, you'd come and talk to me when you're trying to make it more fun. I mean, that's, a given, because I am the fun one in the crowd. But, we have a few things to discuss. Hang on.
Well, come on, don't leave us hanging.
I was going to wait a bit. Unless you want to start off with it.
Well, we got to see exactly how many people we have.
200.
200. Well, we can start the Tracy update then. Let's go ahead and put on the Tracy background. I can't see through these glasses. It's too dark in here.
Some might say it shouldn't wear shades indoors.
I know the reason I do that. Okay, here's the Tracy background. Okay, so the Tracy update. She's doing a lot better. She's coughing on her own. Before she was like going numb to where she wasn't coughing, and we had to go internally and suction her out. And she got away from that, and then she went back to it. So this week she came back out of it to where she's been doing it on her own, and we have to suction out a lot less internally. In other words, we don't stick this catheter down in her trach and then down in her lungs, which will scratch things, and agitate things and possible, bacteria infections and stuff like that. So the less we can do that, the better off we are. And she's doing great now. She's coughing it up on her own. It's nice and thin. It's doing good. And, the only problem we had this week was our supplier. They for like 4 or 5 months now, they've just been sending like half shipments. Oh, Tracy don't need the food, or Tracy don't need the froze source, or she don't need the wound supplies. We need what is on that doctor ordered list, and we're using it. And every month they've got something else they don't have in stock. And just because you don't have it in stock, don't mean that Tracy don't need it. So I'm having to run to CVS and buy these things myself and stuff like that. And they said they sent it out, overnight it, and it never shows up. Well, now they say that they sent it and it's something on our end. Well, I've got cameras on the house, and we can see the guy. The guy walked up, clearly put down 5 boxes. They said they sent 8. 5 boxes were here. We go through them, and we're missing some supplies. All 8 boxes didn't get delivered, and they don't want to replace it no more. So we had to fire our supplier, which is a big, hairy, scary thing to do, because now we have to get a doctor's prescription for everything that Tracy needed on that list that we've been getting for the last 2 years, and put it to the new supply company and make sure that they have everything, and transfer all this over and hopefully get her new supplies in before her old supplies run out. So it's a scary thing, but we had to do it. And, put Mara on it. She got on the phone, and she was on the phone about a half hour with him. Next thing you know, I'm in there sleeping. She's out here screaming and yelling. I come out here, and she's like, I apologize if I woke you up, but these people pissed me off. I'm like, you go, Mara, you go. She's so funny. So, she took care of that, and we talked to the caseworker and all that kind of stuff, and everything's handled. We're going to be switched over to this company that Mara has used in the past and loves them. She absolutely loves them, says they're great. So this company we've been fighting with forever, the oxygen machine, the O2 sensor and all that went bad, and they're telling us, oh, it's the leads, and we switch a brand new lead. and it's still, here's the thing. If your lead's bad, it just don't read, right? Well, it was going in like the O2 sensing was going like 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, 92, 90, 89, 88, beep, 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 beep. All the alarms would go off at 90, and then it goes back up to 97. Then it goes back down to 88. And we're like, man, all night long I'm dealing with this thing, and it's not Tracy, so I'm changing the leads, and we don't have any more spares now. We changed them all, and they're telling us the machine's fine. So we had to go above them and talk to a manager and get them to replace the machine. And finally, it's been working great since. She stays around 95 to 97, and sometimes she's even up on 100. When we take her off of the little mist machine and just let her breathe regular oxygen, she goes straight to 100. So it's like she don't need it. But if we let that happen, she could actually dry out and get a mucus plug in her lungs. And then it's going to block off that section of the lung. So this is all a bad thing. We have to have this steam generator that gives her moist air to go into her lungs. Because when you or I breathe, we breathe through our nose or whatever, and it goes through the sinuses, warms up, gets moist, goes down in the lungs, that kind of stuff. Every once in a while we'll be running or something and you breathe through your mouth. Well, that's fine as long as you don't do it for 3 hours straight, because then it'll dry out your lungs. So that's how it's supposed to work. But because we're putting it in through her trach right here, she don't get the use of her sinuses or nothing to warm up anything. So we have to put in the mist air. And, it brings down the oxygen levels a little bit. So you have to, now she's on 2 liters of oxygen. And it's fine. We've got it to where we've handled it and everything's fine. And everything's good, except for changing we shouldn't have to fight with supply companies. You should know ahead of time. If you're getting running low on something, you get a backup source from someplace else, because the people you're supplying, they need this kind of stuff. It's like life or death. It's not, oh, well, they can go without, their Band-Aids for a month. Sure, I can buy them in the store. But when you tell me I can't have the, what was it? Some her nebulizer stuff, stuff like that, stuff I can't get, in the store. So, stuff like that. We need the stuff. Oh, her Pro Source, I can't buy that in the store. And that's what keeps her, when you're bedridden, you get atrophy and your muscles just deteriorate and get nothing. Well, this Pro Source is a pure amino acid that builds muscle. So Tracy is now more muscular than she was, when she was around, because she barely ate. So she was real bird-like and real light. Now she's kind of, heavy, but I grab her arms and I can't feel her bones no more. It's all meat, so this Pro Source has been working great. And, we can't get that in the store. So it's prescribed only. So that's the kind of stuff that we need to keep giving her. And they're just like, oh, well, we're out this month. I mean, that's bull. They should, or diapers or stuff like that. We can buy diapers, but, it's just, they should look out for their supply for their people instead of just saying, oh, we don't have it this month. So we got rid of them. They're gone. And it's going to make our lives better and Tracy's life better. And, And then another thing she started doing was, now she did it for me a couple times. I'm trying to I pick up her head and I put her hair all behind her, right? Well, one time she leans forward like this for me. And I'm like, oh, you trying to help me? And I'm holding her head up and I put her hair back down. I lean her down. And I told Evelyn, the nurse, that she's actually like trying to help. And she didn't believe me. So I showed Evelyn and she did it a second time. Well, Mara's here today. And Mara comes running and gets me. Rich. You know what Tracy did today? I'm like, what? She's like, she's actually trying to help me. She leaned forward and I was trying to wash her back and she leaned forward so I could wash farther. I'm like, oh my God, Mara, I meant to tell you about this. But she was so excited, I just didn't say nothing to her. I let her tell me. So Tracy's doing good. She's all of her wound is healed up. We had a bag leak on the food thing. And what it did was the food thing fell out. So it leaked on the bed, but also her stomach acids came out. So she got a few little burns on the side of her leg. And, we had to come up with alternative ways to keep this from ever happening again. So I made little clips and stuff like that to where it's a little harder on us, but we can ensure that this thing will never come apart again, but her wounds have healed up nicely. The doctor was here yesterday. And, the doctor, we got a new doctor prescribed to her. So now she's little Dr. Emmanuel. She's like tiny. She's Tracy size, if not smaller. And she's just the sweetest thing. She just wants everything for Tracy. So we talked to her about the Zolpidem trials and the Ambien trials. Or not Ambien. What was the other one?
I forget what the other one was. Lorazepam?
What was it? Ativan.
Lorazepam. Same
Yeah,
thing.
lorazepam. Okay. Trials. And it's supposed to help people in anoxic brain injury and stuff like that. So we showed her, and she never heard of it. And we told him the problem we had was the last doctor didn't feel comfortable giving her this stuff. And, we're supposed to give her 1 pill a day, and she's supposed to come out of this vegetative state for about, 2 hours and go back into it. Well, we see these trials where this lady actually sat up in bed on her own, and she tried getting out of bed, and everybody stopped her. But she looked at her daughter, and she's like, "Hi, honey," She she instantly recognized who her daughter was and was able to speak when she was in a vegetative state before this. So we want Tracy on these trials. And the old doctor says he's not comfortable. He knows nothing about it. He referred us to neurology or something. And then this doctor took like 8 months trying to look into it. And then he referred me to somebody else. And it just got all, so we told the new doctor, and she's like, "Oh my God, I can prescribe her that." And I'm like, "I know. Can you help us?" And so she's going home, and she's going to look into the trials and see, everything, the good, the bad, the possibilities, all that stuff. And she'll get back to us on that. Hopefully she'll help us out on them. And we can get Tracy on these trials, which would be great if they worked on Tracy. They only work on like 15% of the people. If Tracy was one of the 15%, we could have our Tracy back for, 2 hours a day.
Well, it's worth at least trying them out. Even
It's
if it
definitely
doesn't
worth
work.
trying. So
I
of course.
mean, the worst case scenario is that
It don't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
But if it does work, we can actually talk to Tracy and see, where she needs more. I lay here and my back hurts so much, or my knee hurts, or my toes, or I got a constant Charlie horse in my leg. Something only she can tell us that we can learn and make her life better. So that's what I'm hoping for, and if that works out, great. So let's all cross our fingers for that. So there's the Tracy update. Now let's get on with the fishy business.
Well, don't we have to do a Laura update?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
I was just about to interrupt you and stop you.
I need an Laura background.
Hush.
I'm telling you, I needed a Laura background. You're hushing me.
All right, so this little girl, she
She's something
is
else.
jumping leaps and bounds. So last week, I think I told you guys about her first tooth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now she's got more teeth.
Yeah.
She's becoming a little piranha.
Well, now wait. So for the last 2 months, this girl has been teething and making your life just miserable.
No,
Not really?
no.
Because when she was here, I put my finger in her mouth and she went to gnawing, and I felt the tooth.
She would like gnaw on me and whatnot, and she'd gnaw on my hands, and she would just, it would hurt her more, but we found ways to work through it. And
The cold ice pack, little toys.
she actually didn't like
Really?
them for like the first.
And you and
I'd
Richie
say
wouldn't put them
month.
down.
I think it hurt her more than she liked it. Now that she's a little bit older, she's kind of liking them a bit more. But her favorite thing, you take some frozen, not vegetables, fruits, like we do mango and pineapple, grapes and blueberries, and put them inside this little thing with a little contraption you pop close, and they can suck on the frozen fruit, and it soothes them, and they get something good to taste. Keeps her quiet for a good 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, so
help
she
her
don't
teeth.
like it. You like it.
We both like it. We both like it. But oh my God, Brittany gave her blueberries for the first time the other night. Boy, did she make a mess. Her face was all blue, and she had a white.
You gotta
onesie
love
on.
these days.
It got the whole front of the onesie all blue and purple. It was cute though.
Yeah, it's very cute. Very cute.
So on top of that, I told Brittany that she is starting to get up on to do her knees like she wants to crawl, and she has not seen it until today. About 20 minutes before I left here, and she was actually getting up on to do her hands and knees.
Was it the wobble thing?
No, she was like, so she was laying down, pushing up with her hands, looking around, and then she just like push her knees up, and she'd be on all fours. but she hasn't actually moved yet on all fours, but it's very close.
Oh, it's coming close.
Mm-hmm.
That's like you're within a week of her crawling
Probably.
everywhere, and now you got to watch her like a
And
hawk.
She's starting to sit up on her own.
Nice.
Like if I set her down, she can sit up by herself. Today was actually I think the first day that she went from laying down by herself to kind of sitting up. And if I stand her up, she actually likes to stand. So like I can let go of her. Of course, I keep my hands nearby, but she'll stand, which
Nice.
is like a lot for a 6-month-old baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know
also, last week she started making sounds. Okay, so we thought there might be some words coming soon. She said the da sound. She kind of said it, kind of didn't. I'm not gonna.
it could be a little hoping on your part.
Yeah, but then today she also said the mama sound.
Really?
And she was like kind of imitating Brittany, and she said,
Wait.
You want to think it's a
Wait, this is what it's
Yeah.
like at their house. I guarantee it. When Josh is alone with her, he's like, "Da, da, 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 da." I guarantee
I'm on
when
your
Brittany's
side for
alone
this
with her,
one.
she's like, "Mama, mama."
I'm on your side entirely with this one.
See, I do both. I say, can you say that, dada? And I'm like, no. How about mama? Mama? I take turns, But to no surprise, she actually did make a word that me and Brittany both heard, and we were like, what the hell?
What was it?
Hey,
Grandpa.
No. You'll never guess it.
Food?
No.
Pee-pee?
what was it?
She said, damn it.
Oh my God, Josh.
I swear to you.
That was her
That's her
first
first word?
I swear to it. And it's like,
God.
it's not like I say it or Brittany says that.
Yeah,
I
you do.
think-
She's getting it from somewhere.
I think she just like made the noise and we thought it sounded like it, but it sounded like she said, damn it. It was funny as hell.
You think
It's in the Bible. It's not a swear word.
Oh my God. Great update on the Lord. Miss that girl.
yeah. He's already learning how to
Oh.
swear.
What?
How much do you think she weighs?
14 pounds?
You suck.
Nailed it? Oh my God. I'm the best at blind guessing.
Yep, she had her next run of shots today, and she went in. Me and Brittany were all guessing because she's getting heavy. So Brittany was like 16 pounds. I'm like, no, she's got to be like 18. She's getting chunky. And no, 14 pounds.
Oh,
It feels
just
heavy
a-
when you
just a
carry it in
white
your
fork.
hands all day.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Well, great updates. Now, let's get on to everybody here.
Want to put the background back on?
Oh, yeah.
Josh has something to show you guys also.
Yeah.
Too.
So, our boy, you guys remember.
Background is back on.
Okay. Remember your favorite sharks? You got our boy Bruce. Okay. You guys known him now for a couple years. You guys love
I never
him.
liked them.
We've recently got our boy Flappy. He is out of recovery and he is back in
Recovery.
showbiz, He's got a personality to him and he loves the taste of nibbles.
Go on.
So we got Bruce and we got Flappy. But
Our buddy Jim Sheasley came over here.
he sent us something
Yeah,
today.
show him the packet that he came in. No. Jeez, Josh.
All right, so we got these little shark stockings, right? So in the first one came a bottle of Ciroc. Thank
Josh's
you.
favorite.
That will go to great use. I will definitely have fun drinking that. But there was another one.
Yes.
And inside this stocking was this bag. Inside this bag
Come on.
was our new friend. Oh, who is this?
Hammerhead shark.
Yeah. So
This is getting out of
I've
This is
been
getting out of hand.
pondering
Get out of
names.
him.
I've been pondering names. We've got Bruce. We've got Flappy. He looks like a Sylvester to me.
Okay. You come with the off the wall names.
It's gonna stick though. So like, I gotta stick my fingers like up in his head to like get his nose to lay straight. Bam. We got a little
Now
Sylvester
you
here.
call him Sylvester, I hear his voice as Rocky.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Adrian.
You do terrible, Rocky. Stop it. Get to the fishy business. What's
Yeah.
the word of the day?
Oh, wait, one second. I have to think, Jim.
Oh, no, wait. We ain't into all that yet. What's the word of the day?
Freaking word.
Sylvester.
That's no.
How about hammerhead?
Everybody likes hammerhead or ham.
Ham. How about that? Just ham. All right, drinking word of the day is ham. Okay, so now, what else Jim brought us? Check this out. He brought Skylar some things. He brought Skylar some. That was nice and soft. That one don't bother me. That Bruce was a prick. That one hurt.
And he kind of just like flaps around more than Flappy.
So Jim brings her. Show him your bag.
So as you guys know, in one of the videos, I was a mermaid. He has this stocking for me. And
Wait,
you know,
hold that up. That's a nice mermaid stocking. That's nice.
it's
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Very thoughtful.
It was extremely thoughtful. And then he knows I love fishing too, and so he got me these really cool. I'll put them up a little bit closer.
Lures that she's not allowed to use at the rescue.
You know, I can't even. Or in general, because look at how cool these are. So thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate it.
Jim, you're the man. Now, if you look, what else he got here? He brought something else here. He got me a bunch of stuff, but I didn't bring that out here. We have stuff from other people here. We got to get to that eventually. Okay, so this is good for now. We'll get back to this in a little bit. So, have you kept up with the talking here? Is there anything we got to before we move on?
Yeah, there's been a couple super chats. We got $10 from Jason Duke, and he said, sorry, it just jumped on me. He said, Josh, Bigrich, how rare is the albino clown loach? Those are pretty rare.
I haven't even ever seen one yet.
I have seen one. They're not readily available. That is until someone gets them breeding and mass produces them. But I mean, in terms of rare, like they're not seen. They don't cost an arm and a leg, if that's what you mean by rare. But you know, say a baby around 3 inches is probably $100, something like that. But you know, that would definitely be cool. I've only seen one time. All right, and then we've got Rob's Ray TV. That's Rob's from the Aquarium Guys podcast. $2. Says, I thought you said start at 5:30 Central. Well, you see, I got the times mixed up. We start at 6 our time, so it'll
Which
be
is Eastern.
5 your time.
Right.
I don't know why I said 5:30.
It's right in between both of them.
Time zones are an hour between. Okay.
Yeah,
Josh is like,
Wow,
I'll
John.
just go in the middle.
that's all right. Dude, this shark puppet is so comfortable. Like Flappy is so sticky, like on the inside, like he sticks to everything. Where like
Hey,
I
don't
can't move around. Like,
don't
There's
talk about
nobody more funny than Flappy.
but
don't
like
talk about Lori's gift that way.
no, like I absolutely
Oh, he's
love
supposed to
him.
flap around.
Oh, he does flap around.
No, I
Bruce.
love that line. Flap around and find out.
Bruce, it is like hard plastic, so like
Yeah.
you have to really work to make him work and talk. But he loves nipple time, but he hates it.
Lori keeps asking where the other sharks.
Oh, we got a pile. They're over here. We
So-
use them as backups.
These are the Bruce imitators. These don't have
If something
names.
happens to Bruce,
So like
we have extra.
this one is stuck in this formation, and like I can't get my hand inside. Like it will not stretch. So like you gotta like stick 2 fingers in. You just gotta kind of like get in there and be like, hey, arr. So this one's a bit hard. This one is the most like Bruce, but I think we have to work him in. Bruce has had years.
There's more.
These are. This one, I think one was named Cynthia or something like that. I don't think we named the other one.
Never heard Cynthia in my life.
I
Can
think
we
this
get back
one-
to the fish?
But these stink. Like they smell like prosthetic. Like I don't know. Like you go to the
Like inner tubes, like tire rubber.
Hey,
Yeah.
be nice to Lori's presence.
No,
Say
no.
Thank you, Lori.
Flappy
For
has been the
every-
best addition OFR seen. He had a prime spotlight, okay? Don't you hate on
Flappy
on
has a
Flappy.
mental
Yeah, but-
problem.
Flappy had his jaw broken. He was so funny, okay? Just saying.
So that's the only reason why
Huh?
that guy's taking over the show.
He's not taking over the show.
They're both taking over the show.
They all take over the show. They all have different shows. Tonight it's about
Okay.
Sylvester.
Guys, I'm seeing a bunch of these messages that are hidden that I'm unhiding, and I'm like Jane Carlson says, "I love my fishy friends." Why was that hidden? Guys, got to not hide things that don't need to be hidden.
All right, we got Brittany Ziblis, $10 says, "Welcome to the Bruce fam, Sylvester Shark Loan." That's funny. Oh. So, now I'm going to be torn. Do I introduce shows with Flappy and Bruce? Flappy and Sylvester? Sylvester and Bruce? Do I stick with one? There's so many options. So many room for activities.
Seriously, there was 3 messages by Jen that has been deleted that shouldn't have been. Here's just a smiley face with glasses. There's no reason to delete that, guys. I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to keep up on everything, but I'm also trying to do the show, so I don't know. There's another one. Jenna Carlson put up, "I love you." That's sign language for "I love you," and it's deleted. Please don't do these things.
I wonder because it's not saying who it's hidden by, so that might mean it's you doing it somehow. Because usually
Me?
it says hidden by
I
Jamie,
ain't doing
hidden
nothing.
by AZ. It'll tell you who it's hidden by if it was not you. It might be your computer messing up because I'm not seeing those hidden on my screen. Everything hidden on my screen is perfectly fine to be hidden.
Another one from Jen Carlson's message. And it's just beer glasses.
Yeah, keep that up.
Yeah.
Keep that up. Put that back up.
I did.
Good.
You're getting awful bossy for, someone I'm teaching and taking under my wing around here. Awful bossy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Since I've started working here, I can identify maybe what percentage of the fish?
At least 10, 15%.
I know it's way higher than that.
You
I would
think?
say way higher. I would say at least 50%.
Well, you have a confusion thing. Is this that one or this one? And you have the
No,
same
no,
name
no,
that
no,
goes
no.
between. Yeah.
I can point out I can point out
All right,
Hardman.
20%. She's doing good. She is. It's hard to remember all these names at once. So I'm giving her, names and teaching her things and all this different stuff. And she's learning. She's picking it up. As a matter of fact, tomorrow's video, you'll see where I'm teaching her how to acclimate fish and the right procedure to handle people. Like if I wasn't there, she could bring these people in. She'd know what to do. Grab the acclimator, get the bucket, start the acclimation process. How to acclimate and how much. All that kind of stuff. And then
You get
to put the
Steve
fish in. And please don't do stuff like that. Please. So, yes, she
No,
started
just
to siphon.
siphoning.
Yes. And you get to see how she's handling the people now. She's learning a lot. She really is. She's helping out a great amount.
Oh,
right
you've been teaching me a bunch. I pretty much did that all by myself. I've been doing tours all by myself too. I did a tour all by myself today. And you've taught me how to do everything, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
there.
Oh, Ken Cummings asked when I'm getting married. So, that is dependent because where we wanted to have our wedding at, there's this stupid COVID restriction that we cannot, get around yet. So we're waiting for that to drop off. And that was Turks and Caicos. And, we still have not set a date, so we're kind of just in a waiting phase right now.
Chad Emmedick, that was quite funny what you said, but the mods were under strict orders that anything mentions, that name, it never gets through. So I'm sorry your post didn't get through, but it's funny.
Second, I gotta. So Nobody said no cheese balls today, Skylar. Little do you know.
She's got them hidden everywhere. Trust me.
Hip Hop Hillbilly's asking about the Abber. Did I miss a video? He was actually on a YouTube short today. If you were on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, he's there.
That's what happens
He's
if I
doing
try
good.
to get a cheese ball. See? She teases me. Okay. Get this thing out of here. She's funny.
Where are we at? All right, I'm back in it. So topic for tonight.
Well, we don't have one because we were going to have a special guest speaker,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll probably have next Friday. I'll try out the new software tomorrow. We're going to try Streamlabs. Let's see if it's any better. So I don't have a topic. Whatever you guys need, just ask questions and we'll try and help out everybody. Pale Horse Rider asked if there's any restrictions about the resort.
There's no restrictions in the resort. It's just a restriction to get into the country. They want you to have a full vaccination card, and I refuse to get the vaccination. I've already had COVID, so I've got a natural antibodies. That's better than any sort of vaccine can do. I know people who've gotten it and they still get sick, so
Right.
There's no point to me. I haven't gotten a flu vaccine entire life.
Right. You
Get
get
the
the flu,
flu.
what, once every 5 years?
I've never had the flu.
Now you're going to get it. How dare you say such a thing? All right.
Janie says, say it's against your religion. That's a good point.
Right.
Maybe we can. Someone asking whatever happened to Matt's Monster Fish. Do you still talk to him? Yes, I do still talk to
Yeah.
him. He's just doing his own thing.
He moved on in his life. He's raising his kid by himself, so he's getting into the sports thing with them.
he's
And,
doing football games with his son.
he
Stuff
sold
like
his
that.
tank, and he used that as a down payment for his car. So he's got a car. He's a nice, reliable car, a nice car, and he's taking his kid around doing all that kind of. He's doing life,
He actually contacted me probably about a month ago. Says that he misses it. Of
course he does.
He's thinking about getting back in. I told him when he's ready to pull the trigger, I've got tanks. I've got fish. You let me know.
Right. Medazzo, yes, your comment got hidden because there's certain people that once they screw over the rescue, we don't bring up their name. That name you brought up is one of those people. He got kicked out of here. I tried acting like he just moved on, but he did some dirt here, and we don't want him around, and he's never allowed back, and we don't talk about him. So that's why your comment got deleted. I'm sorry about that. It's nothing personal. Stuff like that. Stuff happens.
All right. So there's a lot of people that are loving that Hubert is back in the dog.
Yes.
First video back. He's back up, hand feeding.
He's right back being the hand, the star of the show.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves to be front and center.
I also got someone else hand feeding the other day, and I got it on video. It's going to be tomorrow's short, but super cool. I never even thought
Tell
about
us.
the African arrow. Hand feeds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He comes up. I'm like, I open the thing. I go to swish around some food, trying to get the Dorados to come over. And the arrow came up and started sucking that top of the water. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you going to hand feed for
Our
me?
last one didn't do that.
I tried it, and I'm like, that is super cool. So I got it on video. So now I got to work with him being a little bit better.
Yeah, because he was tearing up the food from her. She's taking over the morning feed for me, and she's killing it. You're doing a great job.
You taught me how to do it. I appreciate it. But the African arowana has been eating so goddamn, so gosh darn much, and
Can't contain this girl.
that's the first thing I've said today. That's a record. 30 minutes. That's a record. Has been eating so gosh darn much that as soon as it
Gosh
happened,
darn sounds so wrong for you.
gosh dang much. that as soon as I drop it in, he pretty much is eating it all, like right away.
He used to come up and take some of the bloodworms, and then he'd spit them out, and then he'd suck some back in. Now he takes the whole bundle before anybody else gets it, and then he keeps it in his mouth. You can see him chewing and stuff,
Yep.
So he's doing really, really good. He's fat and chunky too,
He's getting there.
Yeah, he's getting
like
there.
I said, actually, in one of my last videos, I said he's getting to that stage to where he's now taking, solid meats and stuff, and he's actually creating a fat sack. So we're past that stage of, being worried, having to feed him,
all
5
African
times a
arrows,
day.
they can die in a day. Okay, if they stop eating, they can be dead the next day. They're crazy fragile as young ones, because they're so picky on what they eat. A lot of them just sit there and eat off the sponge filter and just keep picking off of that. But other ones will take in some food and they'll spit it back out, and that's what this one was doing. And he finally got past that, and now he's eating like a champ. So he's going to be big in no time, just like our last big boy.
Yeah, so I've been working with a lot of the smaller fish. I got the Abba broke off of live. He's eating phenomenal. He eats 2 pieces of shrimp a night. I've got the tiger fish off of live.
That was a feat. Yeah,
He is a
He's smacking
chunky boy now. The African arrows doing good. We basically got him off of brine shrimp and bloodworms. I got him on shrimp and just cut foods. He'll eat pet pellets too.
Well, he's eating that at night with you. He's still eating the
Yeah,
bloodworms.
he eats bloodworms
in the morning.
The pufferfish too.
They've been there since day one. They never ate the bloodworms.
No, I'm talking about they've been doing real good too.
Yeah, but
Eat a
although
lot more.
I've had a problem with the puffers, which you'll see in tomorrow's video. I actually moved some fish from the 135 because the puffers were being a bit aggressive, taking nips at the ray and the high fin banded sharks. We went ahead and moved them, and now they're in their new tanks, doing great. And now the only thing left in that 135 are the 2 catfish, the 3 Siamese big head carp, tiger fish, and the 3 puffers.
Well, wait, tomorrow's my video coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're putting out a short tomorrow that shows this.
No, you filmed me the other night. I don't know which video.
Oh, so it's on my video of when we. Okay, got that.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be out tomorrow for sure.
I mean, I can totally start putting out shorts that give away sneak peeks into all of your videos and keep mine a secret.
Oh, stop! This kid.
Oh, guys, you're gonna see this tomorrow. But yeah, he already did this, and that. How cool is that?
Oh my god.
The greatest 30 seconds, 60 seconds of your day.
Ken Cummins, are you going to have a tank sale in the spring? Yes, every spring. What we do is we save and stack up tanks to give out. Like we just gave a 180 gallon to the church up in Michigan. I'm now working with the Cleveland Metro Parks, and they are in a what do they call it? A collaboration with the jail system, and they're going to supply the jails with any extra donated tanks, filters, pumps, and all that, and we're going to be a big part of that. So we're going to supply the jails with tanks. So I need to keep a certain size tanks now that I was giving away. I need to keep them so it's all the same tanks and the accessories for it to give out to this the whole jail. It's a program where they the inmates take care of the fish and then this and that. So we're going to be working with that.
I see that going all bad.
Why would that go bad?
Giving jail inmates.
No, we're not giving the inmates nothing. We're giving the jail, the facility itself, and then the inmates work in a program. They help and
Take care of the tank, right?
Yeah, have you ever seen the videos on how much that having pets like in jails benefits the prisoners? There's
yes.
tons of videos on it. It really benefits the prisoners in there. It is a good idea.
Okay, I'm not saying nothing bad about that. Sure, that is awesome, but there's something about having a glass aquarium around someone who might not be stable, might have screws loose. There's a nice piece of glass.
Well, I don't think they would trust the own people.
I've seen
that are
It's
enough
like-
only for the
movies.
people
The
where
good
it's
ones, the
it's not for the death row inmates. It's not for
the
it's for the people that can work in these programs and work maybe a couple weeks off of their sentence or something, by caring and showing that they're trying to do good.
I've seen a ton of movies, okay? I know what can happen.
That's where your opinion's coming from, your movies.
Pretty much.
Wow.
All right.
So, like this morning, right before the show here, this is a little something else I did. Someone called me and they're like, hey, I'm at the Strongsville Mall, which is literally 7 minutes from my house. Can I stop by and show my friends the place? I'm like, it is 4:30 right now. I have to start the live stream at 5:30. If you can get here quick, you can run them through. And I asked Skylar to go out there and handle that because I was setting up the live stream. And she did. She come. They showed up here and they went through and the fastest tour ever she gave.
I was trying to talk to them and
that's okay. She gave them a fast tour and they were trying to. They felt out of place. That they needed to,
I was trying to make them feel more comfortable so that they could look around a little bit more.
You got to give of yourself to be able to have other people. I had this lady call me today and she's got 3 kids and she wanted to bring them by and I'm like explaining that you have to do this by appointment. And she asked me why. And I'm like, well, this is my home. We're on rescues all the time and I take care of my wife Tracy and I don't have time to just.
Why ask why? These are the rules.
Well, see, you're mean. My point is, I'm sitting there telling her that I don't have the time to do this kind of stuff, so you can't just show up between 8 and 4 every single day. It's not a business, And she's like, oh, I didn't know that, and blah blah blah. And I told her send me 2 or 3 good dates that work for her, like a Saturday, a Sunday, or a Wednesday, whatever, and I'll see what on my schedule. And if it works, I'll schedule you in and tell you. You can come on by and she's like, well, what's it like there? And I'm like, there's
fish.
Right, that's not
There's a lot of them.
I was real sarcastic at first. I was like, well, it's my house. I have the fish in the back and there's a pool. And she's like, I'm like, no, I'm kidding. There's a huge fish room with huge tanks, all kinds of fish. And then there's the pool room and there's tanks all around that. And then, a big pool full of monster fish. There's the deck out back where you can see the ponds and stuff. Everybody comes here and says it's better than the Cleveland Public Aquarium. She goes, oh, okay. She felt better at that point. So, but I'm just saying, you got to give of yourself to have everybody else. And if you want to educate people, you got to have them here. You want to help people, you got to be involved with that. And that's what we do. That's why we keep all those tanks. We're not just putting them up for sale and just getting rid of them. You see me give away 90% of all the tanks we get. Whatever's left over, like an oddball tank here or a cracked one there, or 10 gallons over here, we sell off in the spring auction. And we get our money back for some of the gas we've spent going on these, rescues. Well, you got a couple of super chats here, buddy.
Yeah, we got Jay Blomquist. Welcome to the green team. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We also have Pale Horse Rider says $10 OFR for life. Cheers to that.
Wait. Cheers. Oh yeah, you drink your watered down juice. we got actual alcohol here.
You don't know how much I put in here.
You've got juice. You've got watered down.
No. You guys don't know how much I put in here.
That is a sin.
She puts like 3 capfuls of vodka in there and thinks she's drinking. It's the cutest thing. And then she comes to me and says, "Oh, I filled it this much with vodka."
Tonight was a little different though.
She's so funny. She makes me laugh. She hurts my ribs more than any person on the planet. My ribs have been broken for the last 3 weeks, and it's all painful because of her. She keeps me laughing. Oh my goodness. Between her and Mara.
Someone's talking about hope Reaper can get a nice car soon. You want to give an update on that whole thing?
Yes. Okay. Now on the Reaper's car situation, what you guys don't know is we had. Now I've sent this lady multiple emails. I think they're going to her spam thing because I've been, contacted back and forth, but her messages seem like she's not hearing from me. So I've sent her messages, and basically she wanted to stay anonymous in the last donation she did. She was a big donator in the mermaid thing, and now she sent money in, and she sent a significant amount of money, and said, I want this to go towards Reaper's car. And I wrote her back, oh my God, that is so nice of you. I can't believe it. You're such an amazing person. This world would be better if it was filled with people like you, blah, 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 care about other people, this and that. So now I could go and buy Reaper a car with this money she sent it. But what I did was I started to GoFundMe so that we can add to it and maybe get him a little better car. So now the GoFundMe went up to, it's 25,80 right now. So 2,500 on top of the $3,000 she sent in. Amazing. So now we've got, $5,500. But Reaper has his old Ford Expedition sitting there that has been broke down for a while. He spent the money and got it fixed. He towed it today, and it's at a shop getting fixed so that he can put it up for sale. He should be able to get about $1,500 out of that, maybe $1,000 at the worst case. I mean, it's pretty rusted out and it's old, but it still runs. But the power steering lines were blew out, and he couldn't drive it. So he's been driving his son's car, that little yellow car that's held together with Band-Aids and junkyard parts. So, everybody's pitched in together. So there's $5,500 there, and then he should get $1,000 from that. So that's $6,500. We should be able to find him a nice car, newer car than his. His is a 1990 Toyota with, I think, 220,000 miles on it.
We've already been looking. Prices
We found a bunch, yeah. So once we find out if he sells his van or not, his Expedition, we'll know the exact amount of money we can spend, and then I'll go and do my due diligence and find a bunch of cars, give Reaper some options there, and then we can go around with Reaper and look at the different cars and pick out what he actually likes.
Yeah, dude, we come through every single car in the state of Ohio. Like when we had the original amount, I'm not even joking on this. We went through every single app, every single site. We come through every single car in the state of Ohio. So now
I wouldn't go as far as that, but we did go through a lot. And then we had some guy, he emailed in that he would like to donate his car. Now, he didn't tell me what it was, but he would like to donate that towards Reaper. And I was like, that's amazing of you, blah, 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 and I've never heard back from him. So, that's also an option. If somebody's got something sitting around, we can go ahead and get that. And then, Reaper can use the money to fix it up, buy new tires, a new battery, get it nice, If it needs an exhaust, put an exhaust on it, whatever it needs. The reason that this person's giving it away, we can get fixed,
Too bad this didn't happen, a couple months back. I just sold Brittany's 2012 Elantra with like 115,000 miles on it. Sold that for $5,600, and then we went and bought her the Lincoln. So he could have had that car. It was driven by her the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, either way, Reaper's gonna end up with a car. We're gonna make sure he gets that. And now he has the opportunity to get something better than what we
originally wanted. Because of the kindness of others. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I love my following, but.
Or does she not want to be named?
She hasn't answered me to give out her name, so I can't give out her name unless she gives me the okay.
Okay, well, thank you.
But she is amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah, the last 5 times she wanted to be not anonymous. We're going to keep her anonymous. Some people just, prefer it that way. That's the way I am. I don't want recognition. If I give you something, don't mention it.
So you got to abide by their rules.
Yeah.
But right now, the total is we're talking about, $6,500 for Reaper for a nice car. Now that'll get him. What year was your car?
It was a 2012.
The 2012. 115,000 miles. We could probably find a 2012 with less miles for around the same money, and he'll be set for years.
Now that it's it's that I was back in mid 2022. Now it's 2023. You can probably find him something a little better.
Yeah.
Plus, with prices dropping.
Yeah. So Reaper's all happy, and then he called me today, and he said his dental finally come through for his VA thing. He's been fighting them for like, a year.
Yeah.
He says he's got an appointment to go get his dentures. So now he'll have, nice full teeth, a brand new car. I'm like, oh, you're gonna have to tell Dawn that she's gonna have to step it up, son. You're gonna have to treat him nicer or something.
That AZ Fish Room gifted 10.
I'm kidding, Dawn. I love you. I'm just kidding.
Gifted 10 memberships. 1 to Holden Cambrum, Bucky Godowner, Sarah Cooper, Helen Inglis, Sean McCluskey, Richard Brown, Michael Morgan, Derek, Glenn, Paul's Lanner. Sorry if I butchered that one.
You definitely butchered that one.
Paul's Lanner. There we go.
Are you sure you got that one?
Patriot K. There we go.
Thank you,
Thanks,
AZ. You guys,
Aw.
AZ and Brittany are just awesome people. I'm so glad we met them.
Yeah.
See, I have met so many good people through this rescue and doing this whole flight that we're doing. And I tell everybody, give of yourself. It's just like I don't get much sleep, and then when people show up at the door or something, I get up and I go out there and I do for them, and then when they leave, I go back to sleep or something. You got to give of yourself, and it'll make the world a better place. I mean, it's just nice to be surrounded by good people like you guys. I love it. I love this. She don't understand how I go with so long. She's like, I need sleep. How do you do it?
Yeah, I literally don't understand. You're knocking on my door and you're like, knock, knock, wake up, wake up.
You've been
wake
sleeping
up.
for 2 days straight.
Well, no, not even that. Even if it's just like 8, you're like, we gotta get work done. And I'm like, what the heck? How do you keep this going? Like, how do you do this all the time? And I don't think there's ever a time when I'm like up where like you're not asleep.
What? Hold on. Oh, I'm not asleep. Okay.
Yeah, not asleep.
I was like, you made it sound like I sleep all the time.
The opposite.
Holden, great question. Says Josh, is there any predatory fish that don't get big that go well with Oscar? There are plenty, and that is, one of the main reasons we love to educate people. Because if you go to your local fish store, they're like, "Oh, get yourself a red tail, get yourself a pacu." They make tons of money on it, and you're stuck with.
They don't get much bigger.
Gargantuan. But
and
that
we'll
would
eat
also,
your Oscars.
it would also depend on the size of the tank. But there are wolf fish that don't get too big, are great tank mates. I'm not talking about the Amara. I'm talking about.
I'm like, Josh, you're giving out the worst information ever.
I'm talking about like the red wolf fish, the rainbow.
Gotcha.
There's several different types of wolves that
all kinds of different gobies and stuff.
They get along with.
The giraffe cats. Awesome.
Yeah, there are dwarf giraffe cats who get the look of the big giraffe cats, but they only get about 12, 14
and they clean your gravel so well. I mean, you really don't even have to clean your gravel because they suck it up in their mouth and they spit them out their gills and they eat all the debris off of it. I'm telling you, I have giraffe cat in every tank that I can that has gravel, and I never have to clean that gravel. It's crazy. I put the tube in there and it comes up clear. That's how clean they get the gravel.
Yeah, you can also do like bleachers and whatnot.
Bleachers are great.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, they do get big, like 30 inches, some of them.
Hey.
But after so many years.
What I tell you, look in our videos. If you see an Oscar in the tank, all those fish are compatible.
Right. And we've got in our Oscar tank, we've got them compatible for now. Like the red tails in there, they're going to have to be moved out, or the Oscars going to have to move out eventually.
Well, that tank is on the verge of being like worn apart and abolished. The catfish getting too big, the guards getting too big, the iridescents are getting humongous. So like we're on the verge of changing the 2200 from the albino tank to something else, just because these fish have to go to different tanks.
Well,
just because
and look at the 750. We have a long-finned Oscar, which will get picked on more than a regular Oscar.
Yeah.
And we have it in with giant lungfish, huge lungfish, 30 inches. We've got them in with clown knives. We've got them in with gobies, alligator, or not alligator gar, Florida gar, spotted gar. All kinds of different stuff is in there with them.
Actually, we have our Oscar in with one of the evilest, and I mean evil catfishes known to man.
What's that?
Asian red-tailed cat, once they get big enough, they find their attitude, and they are an absolute menace.
When that happens, we have to move them. I'm just saying, we have fish in with fish because of their size, not necessarily because they're compatible. They're compatible at this point. When they get a certain size or too big, anything that can grow bigger than your fish and the mouth is big enough to swallow it will probably swallow it. Okay? So anything that gets too big, you're going to have to move out. In our situation, we have fish that get too big and they're in with other fish until they get too big to be in with them. And then they get moved up to the next size. So you can't say, Ohio Fish Rescue has Oscars in with red tails. Well, yeah, that's temporary.
Well, speaking of which, we're gonna have to do a move soon here with my fish.
Yeah.
Those things are so tiny.
No,
Wow.
they've been growing up a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens to fish when you stop feeding them flake food and you feed them shrimp.
Yeah, she was feeding her flake food.
Yeah, it was. I went to the.
She come here and she's like, "How can I get my bite juice to grow?" I'm like, "Give them bloodworms and shrimp and the brine shrimp." And she's like, "Oh my god, you were the size of my pinky. Now they're bigger than my finger."
Yeah, they're about. Okay, so I measured them
That's
today.
what,
They're
yeah.
about. Yeah, they're
in the
about
two
that
months
big
in
today.
the 2 months that you've been here.
They started out about this big, about an inch and a half, 2 inches.
All right, we got Jennifer W. Welcome to the green team. Glad to
Welcome,
have you.
Dad. So,
Lee Shelton says my giraffe cat's 32 inches and my gravel is so clean.
See?
Even
It
though they
guarantees.
do wonders because they move so much gravel around, but there still might be a bit of dirt in the
yeah,
gravel.
I mean, always check, but I mean, you can't go wrong getting a giraffe cat in there cleaning your gravel.
Not at all. Or a Niger cat, absolutely love them. Those are one of the most gentle giant catfish that comes to man. We have one out there that's over 54 inches long. The thing's an absolute unit. And
Did you call my fish a unit?
he's a unit.
Hey,
He's a machine.
He's a unit.
he's a legend.
He's a legend.
That thing is massive. So when
You should
when
see
this
him eating the
lady
gravel.
when this lady brought him to do
Oh yeah, this
she
was brought
said-
to us. This was not.
She
You know-
said that we have a 52-inch Niger cat, and I said, yeah, right. There's no way.
It's 36 inches.
Right. And I seen her, and you guys, there's a video out there, and I couldn't even fit him in the tub that I had. And I picked this thing up, and he was probably 30, maybe 35 pounds. The thing was just
Was that?
massive, this big
What?
around, and just pure muscle. This thing was
He was
massive.
a monster.
And he is in the monster pond now. We have Niger cats that we've rescued, 13, 14 years ago. We still have till this day. And they're, coming up around the 44, maybe coming up close to 4 foot, but 54 inches, that is impressive. To see him in an aquarium that big.
But you should see his mouth is this big around, and that's how much he sucks up of gravel. You should see how much gravel goes out his gills. It's like a vacuum cleaner and just pouring out his gills. I mean, he's cleaning. He's on the job. Oh,
Do you think a black spot Pangasius can be kept alone? I mean, sure. I mean,
Wait, a black spot? Is that the black ear?
Guessing he's talking about the Pangasius larnaudi. It's a little bit tough to deal with.
Wait, is that the
hominid.
black eared?
That's the black ear.
Okay, it's the one I got out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they grow a lot slower,
But big.
but they do get around 5 foot. Not to be mistaken for the Peruvian sharks can get upwards of 7 foot. And you think of a 7 foot Peruvian shark. I posted a video the other day of this guy over in Asia somewhere and had 2 big Peruvians on their side.
Oh my God, they
They
were
were
like
like
7
6
foot.
foot long.
You said 6?
Something
I
like
guessed
that.
it's 7.
But if the guy laid down the fish, you can see that he can obviously fit him in his mouth. So like a true man eater, for sure. And someone told me the other day that they're vegetarians and they don't eat people. I said, bull crap.
The Peruvian sharks
They're
are not
opportunistic.
iridescent sharks. Iridescent sharks are omnivores, and they are not known to go after meat. but they do eat meat. Okay, like if it's sitting at the bottom of the river or something, they'll eat it up. But they're opportunistic. They favor the veg. You know what I'm saying? Nuts and stuff that fall into the river. But maroon sharks are active like sharks, active meat eaters. They go after everything. And that's what we just had about a month ago. Our 3 maroon sharks went on a trying to be a killing spree and tore up 2 of our red tails, an iridescent shark, and our Indian shovelnose.
Yeah.
And luckily they survived and started healing, but man, they did some damage that night.
And the only thing that is bigger than a maroon shark is a Mekong catfish.
Yes, and that's they're not known for man eating. They're a veggie eater type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
if
they do, if a man's swimming in the seaweed kelp area and they suck up the seaweed, he's going in. That's how big their mouth is.
All right, Sue Ann, $10 says, what is the best daily food for my green spotted and figure 8 puffer? I'm currently rotating bloodworms, scallops, and snails. Well, I think
that's nice. You can also add shrimp in there.
Yeah. So a lot of people tell you that you're supposed to feed clamshells to your puffers to file down their beaks and whatnot. Although there is some truth to that, it does help file their beaks down. It's 100%. It's a I want to say
I won't want to say a wives' tale, but it is along that lines. You know what I'm saying?
It will not kill your puffer if you don't file down their beak. It's just not possible. We had some guy that had an MBU puffer. He was
puffer.
18 years old, MBU puffer. 18 years
A
old.
Mabu.
Never fed him clams once. He just ate shrimp. And his beak was long, but it didn't go through his head and kill him. So that part is a wives' tale.
That's a wives' tale for sure.
But do clam shells, snail shells help file down their beak?
Yes.
100%. They 100% do.
Now, what we did was for Pittsburgh and for Lavaca, we'd get them smaller shells, clams. Everyone says, "Oh, get them, the half shells. They're open." Then they don't chew the shell, the clam shell, to get to the meat. So there's no reason in it. You're wasting money. You might as well feed them shrimp. It's cheaper. So if you get them frozen clams small enough, and feed them to them frozen, they now have to bite through that frozenness. And that's going to be harder than a regular clam shell. And they do bite through it, grinding down their teeth to get to the lollipop on the inside, the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So,
but you have to be careful. There's some clamshells that are too thick. You do not want those because the puffer can hurt themselves trying to bite through a thick clamshell. We've had it happen to Lavaca before, or was it Pittsburgh? I can't remember. It was one of those two. They went to go bite through this hardened clam that someone had brought to us. We're like, oh, these are kind of big. They seem kind of hard. We're like, we'll just throw it in there and see what happens, thinking he'd, munch it up. But they actually hurt themselves, and they didn't eat for like 3 days. And then he got healed back up, and he started eating again.
Wait. There was one before that. Somebody asked what my favorite flavor of goldfish was.
What?
Yeah. Flavor blast. That's the answer.
Okay.
After this,
right.
wait till you get down to Jim Sheasley's
Whole
comment. That's hilarious.
Game Room says, Josh, could I possibly put a ripsaw catfish in a 125? I saw it at my local fish store, 3 to 4 inches, but didn't get it. Well, ripsaws are what I was just talking about, the Niger catfish. They can get upwards of 5 foot long. So they will eventually outgrow your tank. But there are smaller armored catfish that look like the Niger cat. My favorite one is the mustache catfish. These things are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
They have these little things. They look like a mustache, and they probably max out at around 18 inch. They're so personable. They're swimming around all over. They clean the heck out of the gravel, and they're a conversation piece because people are like, "What is that? So
right.
Cool." I don't have one. I want one. I had a big one at my buddy's house I was supposed to get, but he's like, man, I had this thing for so many years. I grew them out. I don't think I can get rid of them. Like, I completely understand.
Speaking of this, let me bring this up because it'll clear up some things. some people, and you guys, thank you for telling me not to feed into the trolls because I was bringing up all these negative comments, right? And it was really bothering me that they'd say something like this. But I shield you guys from them now. But this guy had talked about, oh, it's not really a rescue if they're buying fish from predatory fins and blah, blah, blah. And I put on there a big old post about how, our job is to educate the public. So we try and have one or two of the largest fish around to show people, because people come here and they see Schwarzenegger. That's an iridescent shark that they can get for $3 at 3 inches, right? And they're like, oh my God, I never knew they'd get that big. We educate people with the size of these fish. Plus, you both can wait. You both are trying to talk here. We educate people with the size of these fish and how big they can actually get and why you shouldn't buy them. So I'm trying to, be nice to this guy, and he comes back and says, oh, no, absolutely not. If you're a rescue, then you need to find them places, homes. You don't need to buy fish that is going to get big. And I'm like, well, look, dude, we are a hobbyist also, and we're in here to help the whole hobby and the situation and try and do the best good as we can, and if we want to fish, we're going to buy it because we have the means to support it, and he I had to end up just blocking the guy because he went off,
So to add to that, it's not only, we're Ohio Fish Rescue, we're hobbyists, we're this, we're that, we do it because of this. But on top of all of that, if you take a step back and you look at it, we're not in Ohio Fish Rescue to make money as some of these other businesses are. You start an animal
90%
rescue,
of every other
you're
rescue
there
is
to
making
make
money.
So,
I mean, if you go to adopt a fish,
hang on.
adopt a dog, you have to pay, vet fees, license fees, all this other stuff, and you end up paying $250 for that dog. We don't charge anything.
Yeah, okay, you're derailing my
But go on.
So we're not in it to make money. Oftentimes, this rescue comes out of our pocket, and we spend more than what we make. Yes, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, Instagram, and it does certainly help. But there's smaller channels out there that make more money than us because they do it full time. That's their main source of income. They're doing it better. We're just doing it. We're putting out videos to help supplement and help us, grow our mission. We are hobbyists at heart, but we found something that we're good at, and we can help the public, the general population. We say, we had big tanks. Now we can rescue fish and find homes. Our network grew. We grew into something bigger than we are. We initially thought becoming a 501c3 would, get us free
sponsors
food
and free food for the fish.
That's why we did it.
It never happened.
Do it to make money. No matter if we're a 501c3 or not, we're still gonna be a rescue. We're gonna help, fish in need.
We were helping fish before we became a rescue.
So you can tell all them people out there to.
And then one more thing that neither of you guys said, which is super important
What?
for a lot of the larger fish that you guys have here, is you guys are bringing awareness to, a lot of endangered species, and you are trying to help preserve the fish outside.
You know what I think?
What?
You're jealous. Peanut butter and jealous. All right, we got OBG Foster, $2, says, how many of your fish are over 36 inches? Gosh, I can't even count. There's quite a few.
Probably, I'd say 30 around 30 over 36 inches.
More than that.
You think more?
No.
I would say about.
There's
50.
at least 25 in the pool, and then there's at least 10 in the 2200 and the 4000. Yes.
A true to 36. I think over 30's pushing it. 30 might be a good round number to stick at. But if you got nitty and gritty, some of these fish that we're calling, 36 might be
could be
34.
35. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they always downplay the sizes of these fish. If you come in here in person and you see them,
Oh, everybody that comes here
they always
is
downplay it.
It's like, oh my God, these fish are so much bigger in person.
They'll be like, this is a 12-inch fish when it's a 20-inch fish.
All right, we got Jim Cheesley, $5. Says, I stopped at every liquor store on the way home. No Elvis vodka.
Oh my God. Jim. Now you guys remember Jim Sheasley, he had the medical thing with his liver. He came over and gave me all of his alcohol out of his bar in the basement.
Yeah.
So we filled up that whole front, cabinet of cucumber vodka, grape vodka, chocolate vodka.
Don't you still have the Elvis bottle out there?
No.
Did she drink it?
Yes. I'm like, Skylar, what are you doing?
I asked
She's
him.
like, you said I can have any bottle out there.
That was a limited edition Elvis. You can't get
Jim
it
told
no
me,
more.
don't drink this one. You can drink any other one.
didn't
Don't
tell
drink
me that.
this one.
I asked you. I said, hey, if I
And-
go out there, boy, you're
I
not
said,
gonna
you
get
No
any
getting that
bottles.
back. That was
So
a
I'm
limited
like,
edition 5
do I
years ago.
fill it with water and not tell Jim? Oh, the ribs. I'm like, no, I can't do that. So Jim come over and I had to tell him, right? And he just looked at Skylar. He started,
It's
Skylar felt so bad, but he's trying to
I'm
find
sorry,
it
Jim.
again.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Jim. I thought he was telling us. Because
Did it taste good? It was Elvis Presley coconut water vodka.
Yeah, it tasted. It did
No, it's
taste
coconut
good.
water.
Like Rich originally told me, you're like, what the heck? You drank that bottle? That was worth like $50. And then we asked Jim how much it was worth. He said at least $150.
Now,
and the longer it sits, the
the more it gets.
The bottle's gone now.
No, the bottle's out there. It's empty,
No,
but it's
yeah.
out there. Skylar.
Sorry,
Wow.
Jim. And then Jim brings me over these nice fishing lures. This beautiful gift. And then I
Kids
drink
these days, let me tell you.
Wow.
I'm sorry,
Brittany's
Jim.
a
They're so
$5
entitled.
says Big Rich. How many licks to the center of a frozen
Oh,
plant?
Brittany, you didn't go there, did you? Because I did hint about that, right? You guys don't know. You're all young. But there was a card.
The owl with the sucker.
You know it. Yes. How many licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? And he would be like, 1,
Yeah, I know that.
2, 3. And he'd bite it. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you.
The Fajaka guy, $5 says, I prefer feeding mussels. They are thinner. My Fajaka rips through them. I've never had an issue with them having long teeth.
Right? Thank you for that info.
All right, we got OBG Foster, $2 says, snack money for itty bitty and calamity. So we're going to talk about that. So my name
God.
did win over and over and over. It won the vote.
Ricky Bowles, Julian.
Stop.
AZ.
Okay. On our last live stream, I put up anybody that comes up with $100 donation can name the 3, and it don't matter how many different names we've got. We had Larry, Curly, and Moe, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We had Artemis, D'Artagnan, and whatever the other 3 Musketeers, and blah blah blah. We had so many different choices, but Josh liked Itty Bitty and Titty,
Yeah, it's hilarious.
but it's not family friendly type. You know what I'm saying? So we got a bunch of hate mail on this. And they're like, if you name it and continue with this nonsense, I'm leaving the channel.
Bye, Felicia.
He's so mean. So, I cannot please everybody. I'm trying to, my son likes it. AZ won the thing with his bid, and he outbid everybody and said, name it Itty Bitty and Titty. And, I can't see that, 10 years from now, like, hey, this is my fish, Titty. You know what I'm saying?
That will be the greatest trio combination on YouTube. Like, oh my God, guys, have you seen the puffers at OFR?
You guys both need to swear during now.
It's not a swear. So, yeah, it's not a swear.
Diddy is not a swear word?
Tiddy.
Diddy. Oh, did he hear it?
Yeah, it's not a swear. Okay, but I like the Julian, Ricky, and Bubbles thing.
That was actually the least votes.
No, it wasn't.
The second most votes was no,
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yes, that was the second most. First was Itty, and third was Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles. Those were the only 3
Bull
votes.
shark.
So I talked to AZ, and he said, look, I don't care. Whatever is good for the rescue, you name it what you want. I sent the money in. Blah,
So
blah, blah.
they're 1, 2, 2, and 3.
Serious Fish Keeper said.
Nobody gets
Serious Fish Keeper says Julian, Ricky, and Bubbles.
Dude,
That's
10
right.
years from
That's
now, you can
exactly
go like,
right.
here's my 30-inch, Maboo puffer named Bubbles. And he comes up looking at the camera like, duh, 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 duh.
Can't
I can see
settle
that.
for a loser. Settle for runner-up, but not,
Okay, the
third
fish have
place.
two
Well, wait,
names.
you know how many of your girlfriends I settled for? You said you can't settle for
it's
losers.
nonsense.
Nonsense?
I am engaged. Shouldn't even be taught to talk about that.
No, you got a great wife now. There is a couple in there.
It doesn't matter. Still nonsense.
He says nonsense. All right. So what's next here? Let's read some more. Oh, I'm stuck on my screen's stuck.
Hit the center scroll thing. There you go.
No, it's still stuck. I can't go nowhere. There we go.
Someone's asking if we have 75 to 125 gallon tanks. We have 75.
We do have, I think, 4 75s out there.
Yeah.
So, if you want to sell one cheap real quick, it's okay. They were put up to give out. So, we do have 2 actually in the way. Further than the white tarp, where we store everything, there's 2 in front of the van or the bus.
Just contact us off of YouTube, and
We'll set you up with one cheap. Because all we care about is we cover our gas costs to go picking things up. And, we have an abundance of them, so we can get rid of one. And if you need it, we'll give it to you cheap. We're not going to, I see them for sale for $400, and I give out a 75 gallon for like, $100, and I throw in all the accessories I can with it, So, it's just, it's crazy.
Brittany Zibless $2 says, itty bitty and P Diddy.
Now, see, she
No,
came up with
Brittany,
that. I
don't
like that.
Brittany anymore.
That's hilarious.
What?
Screw you.
Brittany's the
Brittany
best. No,
Bubbles
no,
and
you
Julian.
can go back to your
Screw
mother's
both of
right
you.
now. You can go back to your mother's right
You
now.
need to go back to your hole.
Yeah, go back to your room. Something.
My
Yeah, how
closet-
dare you talk bad about Brittany? We love her. Her and her husband are solid.
No, Ricky
Salt of
Bubbles
the
and
earth.
Okay.
Julian.
I will settle for that name. They clearly won, but to keep
They
it
clearly won.
PG, we can settle for P Diddy. Third name.
If you're
Itty
willing to do
bitty
that,
and
I'll
P.
go with
Diddy.
that. Itty bitty
Okay.
and P Diddy.
I'll
There
go
we
with
go.
that.
There we go.
You
have
know
a
what?
winner.
When Josh does the videos, he'll be like, "Oh, this is our big guy P Titty." He's gonna remember this.
At least you know. Fair warning. All right, we got Marie Dean, $5. She did not say anything. Thanks, Marie.
Well, thank you, Marie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can we go to the rest of the gifts here?
Sure.
We have got. Let's move this stuff here. Take the gym things and put that down here. So AZ1, and they're going to name them what they want, which is the Itty Bitty and P Diddy. So that works for everybody. Now it's still the one guy that said, if we keep with this nonsense and you want to force us to do this and that, if you don't like it, you can leave, sir. I'm sorry, but we're trying to
an unsubscribe button.
we're trying to keep everybody happy, and you're making our life harder by giving us demands like that. Okay, this is a
I must
key
ask you a
keychain.
question.
Okay, come on now.
I must
Work
ask
with
you
me.
a question.
See them instead. Here's a keychain. Here's a keychain. And then there is this here. Check that out. Turn
This
that around.
is a cup, a thermos, a tumbler, whatever you want to call
And
it.
then there's this.
It says Team Tracy, Ohio Fish Rescue. Josh front and center because
Turn it
I'm
over.
most awesome.
Turn it over.
Oh man, it says Bigrich too.
In big letters as well.
Okay, and then they send it in. This is the people.
From Gem and Co. They gave a business card. It's at Christie's Critters on
Now,
TikTok.
see, this right here is a drink cup, a unspillable drink cup, and here's 2 straws to go with it. So thank you.
Now you're on my level.
Right. Thank you so much for that. That is
know
very
what?
thoughtful. This is all home built. This is all homemade. And then all these keychains here are home built. Each one's got something different on it. They made them for us.
So a while ago, somebody asked what I drink. The answer is going to be
Elvis
vodka.
vodka.
Elvis
Yeah,
coconut
Elvis
flavored vodka.
And I put it in this bottle because I spill everything. So I
She
hate
is the most
ruin
clumsiest.
them.
I mean, I love her to death. She helps out here a lot, but this is the clumsiest girl I've ever met. I made fun of her because the first time when we were building this room, because I can't bend over, she was on the floor hooking the things to the computer under there, right? She hit her head 3 times that day. And the first time I'm like, oh my God, it's so funny. I can't believe you did that. Are you all right? Second time I'm like, you did that again? Third time I'm like, seriously?
What happened today? Right before
She
the live
hit
stream.
her head twice today going under the table to plug things in because what got unplugged? She went under there yesterday to plug something in and she unplugged like 3 things. So today I couldn't get it working and I'm like, can you check under here? And sure enough, there was 3 things yanked out of the back of the computer and she hits her head coming out again. She is so...
And then I blocked
It's-
myself
you know what
going out too.
You know what she seems like? She seems like a girl that was 3 foot tall that grew 5 foot tall and don't know her own body because she hits her head on everything. It's like amazing. I cannot believe it happens. Are you okay still?
My head hurts. I caught myself there.
Ken Cummings asked me, is it hard being a dad now? Not at all. It's actually rewarding. I don't understand, you know, a lot of people say it's hard, and, you know, once you become... I had so many people tell me, once you become a dad, you know, life as you know it is going to be over. You're not going to have time for fish tanks. You're not going to have time for work. You're not going to have a social life. Well, you know what I say to them? I say, bam, you know.
Well, to be lucky, you
Get
got
lost. I do have a wonderful wife.
you know
and-
you got lucky with Alora.
Shh. My daughter is perfect. You let her be.
She is, you got
actually is really close to perfect.
You got lucky as heck. 'Cause
No.
everybody my friends have
You guys see her when she's in a great mood. She's coming over to Grandpa's. You don't see her.
She
Yeah.
loves seeing Grandpa.
No,
She's all happy.
No other baby is like that.
Well,
There are so
I
many
know.
times
Every
Brittany
Every
calls
time
me.
I call Josh, that girl's in the back room screaming.
You know how many times Brittany calls me at work? She's like, "Oh my God, our daughter's going through it. She's having one of those days. I'm just calling to say hi because you know what?
I'm going to kill her.
Tell you, PG
Okay.
Foster, it got deleted, but somebody said you're lucky Alora is not like a Skylar.
Yeah.
Oh, you are so
I
lucky.
am 100% lucky. I'm the luckiest dad in the world. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Dear Lord, baby Jesus.
We kid, but Skylar's been great help around here. Okay, we all have fun and we laugh our butts off all the time. You have made my ribs actually re-break laughing because oh my God, she's killing me around here.
Let me get caught up on some.
Oh, Sue-Ann, he is married. That is his wife. Yeah, they just haven't made it legal yet, but it is his wife. He bought a house, he had a kid with her, and they moved in together. You're married.
I called her my wife.
Yeah, give her a fucking ring.
She has one.
Dude, seriously. I talked to you about this before this show.
That one was a slip. That one was a total slip.
But all the rest of all the
let's
rest
go
of the
on
week,
con-
all the rest of the week, when I ask you, you're like, "Oh, I'll be good."
Let's go on to the rest. I've sworn the least I have in all of these ones. I have all of these.
She has a ring.
He did get her a really nice ring.
What we don't have is a ceremony that happened because
I can do that. I can do that.
No.
I can do that. I can officiate.
We decided we can go off and go downtown and get married just
No,
in
you can
peace.
come to Dad's house.
But what we wanted to do is, we're talking like, a marriage isn't, between you and your family and your friends. It's between, you and your partner. So like, why should we do what everyone else wants? Why don't we do what we want? Because we're the ones who have to do it and pay for it. And
So you want to come over to Dad's house?
So we came up with the plan. We wanted to get married in Turks. It's about 66% cheaper.
I can't go. I have a felony on my record, and I can't leave the country.
Somebody said this should be Alora's college fund. Swear jar.
The swear jar.
So your nurses were actually talking to me before the stream. Said that they can bring mom and all this and all that. They'd come down to the wedding if they so wanted.
You're talking Turks and Caicos. Of course, the nurses want to go there.
They said they buy their own tickets. So
I can't go.
yeah, you can.
I can officiate the wedding if you were here.
You 100% can go.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
I have a felony from 1988.
Does not matter in Turks and Caicos. It matters in Canada. You cannot get into Canada.
Dude, they won't let me into Canada, the nicest place in the world.
Dude,
I'm not allowed in Canada.
Oh my god,
But you can
Canada's
get
the
in the
hardest
Turks.
place I've ever tried to get into. And then when I'm coming out into the US, no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
How's that work?
But I mean, all you have to do is apply for a passport. It takes 4 weeks.
I don't-
You're good to go.
Can you get a passport?
No, I have a felony.
You can get a
I'll take over
passport.
for you.
There are probably about 90% of all countries you can get into with a felony.
I wanted to go to Ibiza.
Get in there.
No,
Yes,
cannot.
you can.
I cannot.
Yes, you
I
can.
looked it up. I tried. Because that's the one party place I'd like to go before I die.
Get into a visa.
I cannot get in there.
Promise you.
Then Greece, and then Turks and Caicos.
Greece,
And then
I don't know. Turks, I looked
Jamaica.
up, and you
Then were
can.
all
Jamaica,
places
you
I
can.
would love to go to.
There are more criminals in Jamaica than anywhere in the world.
I am not a criminal. This was 30-some years ago.
See, the thing about
Sheesh,
Jamaica, you walk
I sold a
off the
little bit of
resort-
weed to support where I came from living under a bridge, and I came up to Ohio, and I sold a little bit of weed. I got caught and got a felony. Okay?
It's-
I've never touched drugs since.
Okay, and that's completely fine. You can get into many places. Like
I should-
said,
I should not be, like right now, if I get pulled over by the cops and the car's in my name, they will see that, oh, he's got an assault charge on his record. He's got a drug charge from 88. The assault charge came from him fighting somebody that I had to take the charge for because he'd lose his job. So I had to go in there and admit a lie to the judge that I fought this guy and I went a little too hard on him. And, I'm sorry, Your Honor. And he gave me, a year probation or something? But I got an assault charge on my record so that he wouldn't get it. And now I've got assault and then a drug charge from 88. And, the cops pulled me over like,
assaults don't matter, drugs don't matter to a lot of places besides a few select.
Dude, when the
places.
cops
They
pulled
want
me
the
over-
money.
Canada, they matter.
when they pull me over, they pull me over with a gun and they want me to get out and get on the ground and all that. I don't just get pulled, like, the van is in Tracy's name. And when we get pulled over, they're like, oh, you're a rescue, this and that. Well, drive more careful, and they let us go. If I get pulled over in my Camaro, they tow the Camaro, they have me out by a gun on the side, down on the ground, handcuffed until they can figure out what's going on, right? It's terrible, the way that the cops treat me. It's terrible.
Okay,
All
you want somebody?
Hang on. Shh. We got a few more super chats before we got to end for the night. We got Brittany Ziblets, $5 says, "How big is your biggest tiger shovel nose?" Question from the chat.
Grab it.
Our biggest shovel nose is around 36 inches,
moving.
and it is a
Yeah.
true reticulatum. He is a big old beast. We got one more. OG Foster, $2 says, "Get married on the deck." Bigrich has a huge
Yeah, you
deck.
see that?
Oh, my God. Remember that episode?
Yeah.
That's right, a huge deck.
A
It's
hilarious
20 by 40.
episode, but I don't think we're getting married on the deck.
Aw.
I mean, we're gonna do what we want at the end of the day. But I mean, if you guys want to have a small ceremony here, because I'm not sure if
Can't
you're
be
gonna
apologies,
come
Scott,
or if
you're
her
on timeout.
parents will come. So I mean, we could have a secondary ceremony.
We can go over her parents' house, and as long as I can officiate the wedding at her parents' house, I'll be happy. We are all gathered here today.
No, like I completely understand. Like flying halfway across the world, like it's tough. A lot of people will not do it. I don't expect.
Well, I've got
people to
Tracy
do it.
to take care of too.
I don't expect people to do it, but I'm not. I send the invite to invite you to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Like I want you there on my big day, but at the end of the day, I know it's tough. I don't really care if you don't come. It's a big ask.
You don't care if I don't come?
Like I won't be upset with you.
Dude, it's the biggest day of your life. And you're like, I don't care if you don't come, Dad.
Second biggest,
Josh,
the
what
biggest
the
day
heck?
was having a Laura. That was a big day.
Dude,
You wouldn't care if your
you
dad
just said, I don't care if you don't come, Dad.
You misunderstood. Like I would
No,
not
I
be
didn't.
mad.
Guys, did I misunderstand?
I invite because I want you there, but I would not be upset with you if you did not come.
When you invite somebody and say it's okay if you don't go, then you didn't really want them there in the first
Wait,
place.
hold on.
Okay, so we just had an invitation to a wedding in Florida, and we have a newborn. It's nice to be thought about. Like, hey, you were invited. We would like for you to be there, but hey, we know you got a baby and you really can't come. So there is understanding. Let me get to the rest of these super chats, and we can go ahead and
Brooke
sign
Polly
off
says,
for
it's
the
okay, Big Rich. It's the vodka talking.
Unfiltered Fish Keeper, $2 says, Big Rich drinking story, please.
Yeah, I don't think you.
Scotty J, $10 says, Fishy Friday. All right.
A drinking story?
I'll let you tell one story and then we'll.
Do I
Next
do-
Story.
Do I do the one where I was walking on the bar and I got hit in the head with the
That's funny. Go ahead.
what about the one where I was at the
Yeah,
light
don't-
and
don't
it fell
think
over
about it too
sideways? The
much.
cop helps
Just
us out
story.
because of Benita and her outfit? No?
First one.
Ceiling fan one.
All right. Me and my buddy are out at this bar. And there's some little I don't know what kind of I don't know what he was, but he was a little guy and he was
A little guy.
and he was up on the bar dancing, and he ended up, the party's going, the drinks are flowing. He pulls his pants off, and he's on the bar with his little tidy whities, and he's talking about, he's got the biggest, thing in the bar. I'm laughing at him, and he offered a challenge, and then my buddy Tony's like, "Go on, Rich, show him, Rich, go on," and he agitated me right into it. So I'm up on this. It's 2:30 in the morning. The bar's closing. I'm on a bar, and I'm walking across the bar, and I'm like, I'm in my tidy whities, and I'm like, this guy here don't have the biggest. I have the biggest in the bar. This was in the 80s, okay? And so yeah. Hey, wasn't this family friendly? That's gone out the window.
Hey, you start talking about being up on the bar, dancing your tidy whities, and here comes the king of DIY.
Oh no! So I'm running my mouth. I got the biggest in the bar, and I'm walking down the end of the bar. Well, I'm a lot taller than this guy, and I saw him walk to the L and then walk this way and then walk back this way. So I do the same thing. I walk down the end of the bar, and I'm laughing and saying, I got the biggest in the bar. And next thing you know, someone punched me dead square in my forehead. Pissed me off. I come back. I want to hit someone. Here, it was the damn ceiling fan I walked into.
Also, hey, Joey.
Stop it.
How are you
So I walked into this ceiling fan, and I wanted to whoop its butt, So I jumped down. I'm like, I'm done.
The 80s is your excuse, huh?
It was the 80s. I was drunk. I was fit. I was trim, and I was large and in charge.
So you came in the 80s on this one.
So with that being said, we're gonna
No,
go
Joey,
ahead.
this guy. Let's say hi, Joey.
We gotta keep it on now.
I went 5 minutes over, so you can tell your story.
Oh, you shouldn't have let me.
Oh, I let you. That was hilarious. They all enjoyed it.
That was flipping hysterical.
And I'm pretty sure you already scared Joey off with that story. So
Stephen Bundle, like, I didn't know Bigrich is in Roadhouse. I themed my whole young life after that. I became a bouncer because of Roadhouse. I was just talking to you about this earlier today.
Well,
Oh my God.
if you're gonna stay on, I gotta get going because I have plans.
I'll stay on.
So you guys can have fun. I will
Joey, are
save
you
my
staying
piece.
on or not?
Well, guys, it was a great Friday night hanging with you, but I do have plans, so I do have to get out of here.
Well, give me a second and I'll end it with you.
He says, King of DIY says I got here when someone whipped out a coolie loach.
What the heck? You're banned from Ohio now.
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody's saying stay on. Hey, Rick.
I'd say you're
now.
looking forward to March when Joey's here, but after that comment, I don't know, buddy.
Dude, I seriously became a bouncer because of Roadhouse. I was a bouncer for 18 years. And you know what? You have to stay nice till it's time not to be nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I loved that movie. It was awesome.
All right, so I really do have to go, guys. But it was great hanging out with you, but I am going to bid my farewells.
Let's say bye. Appreciate you guys staying here and hanging out with us. Love every time we hang out with you guys on Friday nights. It's always fun. It gives me a great, breakup of all week long of, taking care of Tracy, taking care of the rescue, get a little bit of sleep every single day. So this Friday nights is my time away, and I love spending it with you guys. Yeah. Thank you so much. I mean, you guys rock. I appreciate everything with you guys.
And as always,
drink together.
And as always, stay fishy,
My friends.